Welcome back to the Astrology Academy. Today we climb out of the solar system and into the fixed stars, the ancient constants of the sky, and we will build something genuinely new, a predictive method that joins the slow cycles of the outer planets to the fixed star gates where their energy lands. I call this system the Stellar Transit Protocol. Here is the problem it solves. Traditional transit astrology tells us that Pluto is moving through Aquarius, or Saturn through Pisces, but it struggles to say where, in the vast zodiac, the event will strike. The outer planets describe collective weather. The fixed stars describe addresses. When you know the address, you know the generation, the region, and the theme of the change. The fixed stars are not small points. Regulus, the heart of the lion, sits near 29 degrees of Leo. Antares, the rival of Mars, near 9 degrees of Sagittarius. Spica, the ear of grain, near 23 degrees of Libra. Algol, the head of Medusa, near 26 degrees of Taurus. Sirius, the scorching dog star, near 14 degrees of Cancer. These are the brightest, most storied points in the sky, and the ancient astrologers treated them with a fear and reverence we have largely forgotten. This episode restores that knowledge and adds an original, testable method for using it. The Stellar Transit Protocol has 3 components: the Stellar Amplification Rule, the Eclipse Key, and the Timing Lattice. Each is precise, each is original, and together they form a forecasting engine for generational turning points. Before the method, we must know our stars. Let me give you an original reading of the 5 great gates. Regulus, at 29 Leo, is the king star, rulership, legitimacy, and the terrible test of power. When outer planets pass over Regulus, empires rise and fall. Its shadow is arrogance, the king who forgets he is mortal. Antares, at 9 Sagittarius, is the warrior star, ambition, conflict, and the burning question of purpose. Its shadow is destruction without direction. Spica, at 23 Libra, is the benefic star, harvest, healing, and the reward of right action. In traditional lore, Spica is the grain that feeds the world, and its shadow is complacency, the harvest that rots in the field. Sirius, at 14 Cancer, is the shining one, fame, initiation, and sudden revelation. Its shadow is the heat that burns the fields it should nourish. And Algol, at 26 Taurus, is the most misunderstood star in the sky. The traditional reading is pure terror, the head of Medusa, the star of decapitation. My original reading is different. Algol is not evil. Algol is the wound that becomes vision. Medusa's gaze turned men to stone, but Perseus used her severed head as a weapon for good. Algol marks the point where the psyche is struck blind by a truth too bright to see, and the blindness becomes insight. In the Stellar Transit Protocol, Algol functions as a surgical star, painful, precise, and transformative. When Saturn or Pluto crosses Algol, expect the destruction of a false structure, followed by an unflinching clarity. These 5 stars, plus the entire fixed star catalog, form the gates of our method. Now the method itself. The Stellar Transit Protocol rests on 3 original rules. Rule 1, the Stellar Amplification Rule. A transit to any natal point is activated when the transiting planet forms a conjunction with a fixed star within 1 degree of ecliptic longitude, and the activation is doubled in significance when the star is one of the 4 royal stars or the 5 great gates. In practice, Pluto conjoining a natal sun is powerful. Pluto conjoining a natal sun that sits on Regulus is a coronation or a coup. The star does not create the event. It concentrates it, and stamps it with the star's signature. Rule 2, the Eclipse Key. A solar eclipse that falls within 1 degree of a fixed star opens a window of up to 3 years, and the nature of the window matches the star's archetype. The eclipse is the trigger, the star is the theme, the outer planet cycles determine the length of the arc. Rule 3, the Timing Lattice. I use 3 concentric timing layers. The first layer is the outer planet's ingress into the star's sign, which sets the era, 1 to 2 years. The second layer is the exact conjunction of the outer planet with the star's degree, which sets the crisis point, 1 to 3 months. The third layer is the lunar return or eclipse that perfects the conjunction, which sets the week. The orbs are strict: conjunction, 1 degree, opposition, 2 degrees, parallel of declination, 0 degrees 30 minutes. This is the original timing lattice, and it gives astrology what it has always lacked: a falsifiable sequence of dates. When the sequence completes and nothing happens, the method is wrong, and we revise. That is what separates a protocol from a superstition. Let me demonstrate with the sky we are living through right now. Pluto entered Aquarius in 2024, and will remain there, with retrogrades, through 2044. The opposition to Regulus, at 29 Leo, perfects in the late 2020s and early 2030s. According to the stellar transit protocol, this is a generational confrontation with illegitimate power. Regulus is the king star, Pluto is the power beneath the earth. Their opposition is the people versus the throne, the demand that authority justify itself or fall. The eclipse key deepens the reading. Every solar eclipse in the Leo-Aquarius axis during these years reopens the Regulus window, and I predict that the most consequential events of this cycle will land within 3 months of those eclipses. Now consider Saturn crossing Algol. Saturn entered Aries in the spring of 2025, and Algol sits at 26 Taurus, so the exact crossing lands when Saturn enters Taurus in 2027. The protocol says, expect the surgical removal of institutions that have outlived their truth, in the domains Taurus governs: finance, agriculture, the body, and the earth itself. And consider the benefic gate. Jupiter, the great benefic, conjoins Spica every 12 years. Those conjunctions are among the most reliable harvest windows in the entire sky: 2010, 2022, 2034, marked by breakthroughs in healing and food security. The stellar transit protocol does not predict the headlines. It predicts the theme, the timing lattice, and the address. The headlines are written by the actors who show up at the gate. Now, the personal layer, and the practice. Every chart contains fixed stars, whether or not you have ever looked for them. Here is the original method for finding your own stellar nodes. First, locate your planets and angles, and note any that fall within 1 degree of a star from the fixed star catalog. Second, identify the star's signature, using the archetypal readings I gave you, and ask, where does this signature already show in my life? Third, watch the outer planets. When Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto conjoins or opposes that star, you have entered a stellar window, and the timing lattice tells you the month and the week. The practice I recommend is the Stargate Journal. At each eclipse, and at each outer planet star contact, write 3 lines: the star, the theme, and the event. Within a year, you will have your own evidence table, your own falsifiable record, and you will see the pattern that no single event reveals. A final word on ethics. The fixed stars are not doom. They are doors. Algol wounds, but the wound becomes vision. Antares burns, but the burning becomes purpose. Regulus crowns, but only those who can carry the weight. The stellar transit protocol is a tool of orientation, not fear. It tells us when the great gates are opening, so that we can walk through them awake. This has been the Astrology Academy. In the next episode, we descend from the stars to the karmic architecture of the lunar nodes.